We're back to America, and coming in at number 6 is General Hospital. GH. I know I saw Boo Boo in the comments of the Young and the Restless video saying he was all about General Hospital, so I don't know if that means you still watch it, Boo Boo, or not. But if you do, let me know in the comments what you enjoy about General Hospital, because I would love to know. So my history of General Hospital isn't as vast as it is with Days of Our Lives or Young and the Restless. So I don't know. It's been a rough, like I've said before already on these rankings, it's been a rough 2 decades for US soap operas. And GH is not one that I have tuned into a whole hell of a lot over the past decade. When old Ron was writing GH, he's now writing Days. I enjoyed his first year of GH. At that point, it was off the walls, and then it went too off the walls because that's usually what happens to Ron's writings. Yeah, my knowledge of GH over the past few years is almost at nothing. I've seen it here and there, never was able to really get back into it. I feel like they have a lot of cartoon villains all the time. There's usually several on the canvas at once, and it's a little too much for me. I can enjoy a cartoon villain or two. But when you have like 3, 4, 5 cartoon villains running around on the same show, it's a bit absurd. And we still kind of have that going on now, but let me get into what I actually enjoyed first. And I went back and I watched some of the summer episodes. I watched some September episodes just to kind of get reacquainted with GH because there was some things I was enjoying. The main thing is Spencer and Trina and that possible couple. I do feel like they hit gold with these 2 young actors and actress because they have chemistry. I feel like the writing started to let them down, though, however, because I don't know, just they haven't shared many scenes in September and October. So I don't exactly know what's happening with them. I've read online that the actor and the actress is like going to college, so they're probably not going to be on as much. But I just feel like that's a winning couple, and I hope they start to focus on that more because I see that GH really has a tendency to have these long ass stories that eventually get boring. Now, of course, that is a mainstay of American soap operas, but it's not all bad because I also went back and I see the last couple months of Sonny losing his memory and Carly and Jason moving on, actually falling in love after being friends for so long. And then Sonny gets his memory back, and Nina's been keeping him away from, I almost said Pine Valley, it's all my children, from Port Charles. And I feel like that was something the show needed, was Sonny losing his memory and getting away from the mob, because much like I talked about on EastEnders, the mob on GH is also way played out. The thug life is super played out by this point. It's unfortunately became the face of the show more than the actual hospital, for better or for worse. I feel like ABC must like them some mob stories because that has been what the show has revolved around for like 2.5 decades. But Sonny losing his memory was needed, but now he's back and he's back with the mob. And the aftermath of that has been weak for me as well. I just feel like October was a weak month for General Hospital. August and September seemed way stronger. So if I had done these rankings a couple months earlier, GH might have been higher in the rankings than they are right now. Because October was more of a letdown than positivity, but it was still more watchable than most of the soaps lower in the rankings. Like even when Jason and Carly talked with Sonny about their feelings for each other, it all seemed so anticlimactic to me. Like that's the big secret, is that Carly and Jason actually fell for each other. They let Sonny know, and it kind of has petered out. I don't know. And speaking of Peters, another annoying character on the show is fucking Peter. He's a cartoon villain and a half. We also have Victor Cassadine, who is also a cartoon villain in his own right, although I do love me some Charles Sognessy. I never know how to say his last name, from Days of Our Lives and The Nanny. I didn't totally hate that story though. It was intriguing enough for me, the whole Grease adventure. It's a mini throwback to when GH was very popular with their adventure stories in the 80s. So they had that mini Grease story where Drew's been locked up by Victor and by Peter and that shit. And Peter basically has Drew under mind control, which is something else I also don't hate. I enjoyed a certain mind control story on Days of Our Lives long ago. So, some of these over the top American soap opera stories, I do enjoy the craziness of it more so than some of the more depressing, realistic British soap opera stories. But yeah, the Grease adventure was nice. We got to see Anna and Robert together on a case. That's a throwback too. So that story was good enough for me, even though I don't like the character of Peter, and I don't think a lot of people actually do. So I don't know why they are dragging out Peter's demise, similar to British soap operas I've already talked about, where the psycho has to just stick around way too long for it to stay interesting. Also, can someone tell me why they keep giving Roger Howarth new characters to play on this show? Like, if he couldn't make the other characters really happen, why a new character? He's now playing Austin, and I don't care. So, there will never be another Todd Manning. So, yeah. You have the character of Curtis. We see someone from his past who's been watching him. I'm assuming likely his father. That seems what they'd be alluding to anyway. I don't hate it. And, towards the end of the Grease story, we had Valentine get shot. He's okay. Drew also got shot. He was presumed dead. He's not. He had a bulletproof vest because, Peter has him under mind control. But yeah, I mean, I don't feel like I've said a lot of positive things for Jace for it to be so high in these rankings. So I just feel like, to me, it was entertaining. I think that's really what it comes down to. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible either. But it was at least entertaining, and I don't feel like the bottom four were very entertaining. Emmerdale may be the exception because it had their big stunt, but I still enjoyed GH as a whole more than Emmerdale this month. The short on the sheet is actually interesting, but like I said, I have yet to really learn the characters, and that the same goes for Neighbors. Young and the Restless and EastEnders is boring as fuck though. So GH has definitely been more entertaining than those two. So we'll see where GH goes. I don't know what to expect from General Hospital going into November. Will it go up the rankings? Will it go down the rankings? Will it stay the same? I honestly have no idea how I completely feel about GH yet. So I will be interested to see where I place GH next month in the ratings. If there's more Spencer and Trina, I think I'll enjoy it a hell of a lot more. If they kill off Peter, I think I'll enjoy it a whole lot. But we'll see where these stories go. And yeah, episodes without Sunny and Carly and Jason are actually better for me. Maybe not so much Carly. I kind of enjoy Carly. Jason and Sunny, I'm so over those two characters. It's not even funny.